Welcome to Life Coaches Unfiltered, where Desiree, Doree, and Michelle, three life coaches, are here to answer the questions you have, but we're afraid to ask. No fluff, no filters, just real talk to help you navigate life's big challenges. Let's dive in.
Hey y'all, we are back for episode 9, season 2, episode 9 of Life Coaches Unfiltered. I'm Desiree. I've got Doree and Michelle here with me. Today we are talking about narcissists. But first we're going to reel it back and do a quick little check-in. How's everybody doing this morning?
I'm tired.
Too much partying,
As
Michelle.
you can see, I'm like, but I got my tea, so I'll be all right.
It's Sunday, so I think that's what we're recording on a different day. Normally we don't record on the weekends, so everybody, I don't know. I slept in this morning, which I don't normally do, and so I'm kind of like, yeah. Woo!
Listen, people, we're committed to producing these shows for you because we love this
Yeah.
probably as much as y'all love listening to us. So, yes, it is a Sunday and we are working for y'all.
Yeah. And it feels weird actually doing it on a Sunday.
It does.
Because I got up about 10 minutes ago and realized, oh my God, we're going to record. So yeah, so that's why I'm kind of like in a chill mode. And it wasn't even a late night. But hey, I just needed to relax and sleep in and rest my body.
Well, my
Yeah.
I
days
can
are
do
all
that.
mixed up. Oh, sorry, Michelle.
That's all right. I can do that. I can lay in on a Sunday and not do anything and not feel guilty.
Can you like bottle that up and put it in a pill to me? Because my days are all I was at work yesterday, one of my little part-time jobs. I worked all day Saturday and then yeah, and then I've been like managing an outdoor event, so that was like 7 day a week job. So I'm like, what day is it? Oh, it's Sunday. I'm not supposed to be working today. Oh, like I'm just my body is very confused. It's had a lot of
Stimulation.
ah, mm, it's had a lot of change. Like going from living in a tent for a week and like not having indoor plumbing to like arriving at home and you flip on the light switch and it's like, what? Oh, let there be light. Like, oh my God, what is electricity? Like, I don't have to carry my headlight with me everywhere. Like, I don't have to wake up freezing. There's climate control. This is
Oh my
amazing.
gosh, freezing. Oh, that doesn't
Well, it
sound
wasn't like freezing. My tent heater was not working. I need
cool.
to go to YouTube University and try to fix that.
YouTube University.
I
Anyway.
just couldn't get past the not having indoor plumbing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Listen,
I
these are
can't.
they're character building opportunities. You get
Nope.
home and you're like, "Oh my God, my house
I'll,
is
I'll
magical."
I'll do a cold plunge. That's character building, but going like where I have to go outside or whatever. Nope.
No.
No.
Dory is not a camper.
I am not a camper. I'm not a I will be a camper, but I'm not a happy camper. When I go, I'm just like when my late husband used to take us camping and he was like, "Oh, it's such a great experience. Feel the nature. Listen to like everything, going on around you." And I'm like, I still have to cook and I still have to wash dishes, but now I have to do them with a hose and cold water and cook over an open flame. No, thank you.
I have a merch idea. Dory the disgruntled camper.
Live on site.
Live on site. That's so funny. I'm with you, Dory. I'm not a camper, so unless I'm doing glamping, and I'm staying in a really nice tent and everything is
A yurt.
for me, yes. So
Yurts are
yeah,
nice.
I'm with you.
My tent is, I mean, I won't do ground sleeping anymore. My tent has me off the ground. It's on a trailer. And so I don't I have a 6 inch like memory foam air mattress. It's more comfortable than my bed at home.
Hmm.
So that is very helpful, but like waking up and freezing or like sitting in there listening to it rain, it's in some ways is very calming to my nervous system. I love it. I come back kind of like a changed person for a while. And then but then it's just hard. Everything is harder. It's harder on your body. It's
Hmm.
feels like it's just yeah, but it's a character building opportunity because I get home and I'm like, wow, I appreciate things so much more. So yeah, I see both sides of it. All right. Enough about all the chit chat.
Enough
We
about
kind
us. Let's talk about.
of, is there anything else y'all want to share about disgruntled camping before we
No,
move on?
I think that's it.
Nah,
Okay. Yeah, but
let's,
my
let's
body is very confused. I have no idea that it's Sunday. It's like, what day is it? Okay, so today we're talking about narcissism, and y'all, the algorithm has been feeding me so much information. I think all the things are connected. Amazon's like, she bought this really cool book, and Facebook is like, oh yeah, there's a cookie, and so we're gonna feed her all these things. So I have so much material on narcissists that I have talked Doree and Michelle into doing 2 episodes on it. So today we're gonna talk about like the general overview and like how it shows up in your relationships, and then next time I'll let Doree tease that at the end of the show. We're going to continue the discussion.
Mm.
So, just an overview, narcissism is a word that people are tossing around all the time. So, what is your instinct or what input do you have on narcissists, how the term is used? What are your
Mm.
thoughts on it?
Well, you know,
Yeah.
I have it. Oh, go ahead, Michelle.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say I have a major opinion on this. I think that the word has been thrown around so much that if anyone is mistreated by someone, they consider them a narcissist. And there is definitely, I love what we're going to be talking about these things because we're going to be distinguishing about what it really is. People can be, I'm just going to say, people can be assholes, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're a narcissist. So that's what we're going to be like going through in these episodes. I'm excited about it. I said it, Michelle. Are you proud of me?
I was thinking that was what I was gonna say. I was like, let me hear what Dory has to say. Because I was just like, yeah, immediate when I hear narcissist, I think asshole. I really do. I think this person is just an asshole and very selfish and self-centered and wants to think about themselves all the time and doesn't take any consideration to the other person that they may be dating or whatever the relationship is. And I've dated a few, so I'll bite my tongue, and Desiree can say what she needs to say. But yeah, I will be sharing some stuff about the narcissists that I encountered.
Oh my gosh. So one thing we do hear this word thrown around and like other episodes we've talked about, it's like a spectrum, right? So it's a continuum. Everybody has some narcissistic traits. There was a really great video from the Gottmans, which they're both psychologists, I believe, and they're relationship experts. Um, and they were talking about how everybody has some narcissistic traits. It comes from self-preservation. And when you boil it down, our we need to keep ourselves safe because I had this realization a couple years ago of like, if nobody is going to take care of me and love me as much, like whose job is that to do?
Right.
And I realized that it's nobody else's job but my own. And so I need to get to business. Like I need to get to business taking care of myself. And so that was a pivot point for me. But like, yes, we need to be interested in self. We need to watch out for ourselves. So there's some narcissistic stuff. The differentiator is true narcissists, and there is a diagnosis called narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, is the acronym that's used. And that is when people take it to an extreme and have no empathy, no accountability.
Yeah.
Everything else is other people's fault. There's a lot of manipulation. So people can have narcissistic traits. The differentiator is if they're willing to make amends and to take some accountability. So,
Yes.
yeah, just want to pause and give you guys time to chime in on that.
Yeah, I love the fact that you said kind of recognizing it and taking accountability because for the people who realize it, they do try to work on it. But then the others are kind of like, no, no, that's you. It's all about, there's something wrong with you. I'm fine. I'm good. And it's just, and then again, I know we talked about gaslighting, but then you kind of question yourself. Is it really me? Is it? And you kind of sometimes believe that it is you and that you may be the person in the wrong. and that's the manipulation piece that drove. I'm getting a little bit highlighted here. Drove me insane. Drove me insane. Because again, it's like you have to question yourself, and you shouldn't have to question yourself constantly with this person to think, is it me? Is it really me? Or is it really you? So yeah, the accountability piece is key.
Yeah. I think that a narcissist use gaslighting as a technique
Oof.
of what of a part of who they are and how they operate, because it is part of their manipulation. But I love that too about the not having empathy too, and being able to not, you know, because you're right, Desiree. I mean, we're here to take care of ourselves, and I just recently myself had like this epiphany of like where I've always cared so much about what other people think about what I do, what I say, aka people pleasing, which would be a whole different show. Um, but people pleasing and that sort of thing, and being able to look at that though and go, okay, but needs to be another piece of this where you're taking care of yourself
Mm.
and but and I said that to someone today. I said, I have to take care of myself and look out for myself, because you're right, Desiree, nobody else is going to do it like you're going to do it. But the other component of this is that as long as I do it when I'm not hurting anyone else intentionally, sometimes we do hurt people unintentionally by doing things for ourselves, but intentionally hurting someone, I feel like that is what a narcissist doesn't have, that kind of differentiator of being able to go, hey, I might actually hurt somebody by this action. And they just kind of go for it without thinking about other people.
Like one of the telltale signs is so funny because I would go see I was getting monthly massages at a point in my life where I was able to afford doing monthly self-care. And my massage therapist was like, just I'm getting this confusion vibe from you that you're just confused all the time. And I was like, okay, like I didn't get it. And then when
I'm
I started
confused. I'm confused why you're asking me this while I'm getting a massage.
I was like, what is happening? Yeah. So she's like, I just feel like this air of confusion around you. And I'm like, then I start reading about like the effects of narcissism and like I had a very earlier this year, I had a very direct and like in my face encounter with someone who I believe is like a may have narcissistic personality disorder. And it was so confusing to me. And I was like, oh, this is what's happening.
Mm.
Because like when you are confused, you don't know where, like, you think about if you're in like a fight, like a hand-to-hand combat, and you get confused, you're like wandering around, like, what the hell just happened? And then somebody can just throw a blow at you and then take you out, right? So taking you off balance is the tactical thing for a narcissist. And like in a case where it's a little bit more covert and it's not so outright, that constant confusion, you're just swimming in this sea of confusion, and then the manipulation is a hell of a lot easier.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
that makes total sense.
Sounds,
Yeah.
and as you said that, I was just kind of like, that piece of shit. No, I mean physically, I was just like, going again, having those flashbacks, like piece of shit. But you're totally right. You're totally
But
right.
it's a tactic that works for them. So they're going to continue to do it, right? So
Yeah.
like in this case, it was like I walked up and I might have come in a little hot because what I'm realizing is when I am stressed or in get shit done mode, I skip the pleasantries. I skip the hi, hello, good morning. I'm Desiree. I'm acting in this capacity. I'm just like, hey, this is what I need to talk to you about, right? Like I realized this probably about 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, that's probably not the best. Like people approach me and be like, "Hey, good morning, Desiree. How are you doing?" I'm like, "I need this, like I just go right into work." And I might have approached this person in a way and understanding some other things about how this person operates. I'm trying to understand, but also not become a victim of their because they've just this person has like said derogatory things to people when they say they're genuinely confused and they're like, I don't know what you mean by that. And then they laugh at them and then try to explain it away. And people are like, oh, you just need to, like, we had this whole discussion about like what tactics would work in this situation. They were like, well, you just need to meet them with curiosity. I'm like, she did. This person met this person with curiosity. She was genuinely confused about this derogatory term this person was referring to her as, and they laughed at her. And I was like, that stuff doesn't work with a narcissist. You
Yeah.
know, I was like, you have to disengage and just refuse. Like, my, I'm just like, I'm not gonna engage with you if like call them out on their stuff and then just not engage because it's gonna be just
Continuous.
dismiss, like
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah.
Because it's, yeah. So I think that's where a lot of people get into trouble is they think that traditional like patterns of communication and conflict resolution will work with someone who's really more towards the narcissistic personality disorder spectrum.
Yeah. Yeah. And they try to think, well, I can change them or I can, do all those different things. And that just doesn't, it doesn't work because when you're dealing with someone that doesn't have empathy, who doesn't have self-actualization to know that they have a part in something or willing to take accountability. Sorry, folks, you can't change somebody like that. You just can't. Unless someone is like really wanting to change themselves, but they got to realize that they are part of the problem to be able to change it anyway. So
Yeah.
it's sort of a lose-lose situation. I hate to say that. I try to be very, you guys know me, I'm good vibes only and very Pollyanna, but there are some people that you just, you're right, Desiree, you have to just go, it's not worth compromising my own self and my inner peace being with this person, and I'm going to have to disengage.
And
Let the
cut
professionals handle it.
and cut them off because some people just keep on going back and
Yeah.
going back and be sucker for that kind of punishment. And there needs to be a cutoff.
It can become
Um,
kind of an addiction of
Hmm.
its own sort.
yeah, my former therapist was like, you need to end this relationship because this person is addicted to you and you need to gray rock them, which is a tactic where you don't react emotionally to them at all. And it felt really, in some ways, abusive because then it was like, well, you are shutting me out, and that's an abusive tactic. And I was like, so the rule was that my therapist gave me was you can reply to this person, but only in a business sense and things that you need to wrap up your relationship with them. So if it's related to money or the place that y'all live together, uh things like like business things, you can respond to them with just the facts or with details to get that resolved. But if they're going to try to hook you emotionally because they're addicted to that and they want to they and so I had to do that, and it was horrible because this person is throwing it in my face saying what you're doing to me is abuse. And I'm like, you don't even know what you're talking about. Like, I'm doing this to like save myself. It was
Yeah.
just, and then you have the whole spiral of the confusion, right?
Yeah.
And so it was just like, it's crazy making. It's crazy making.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the whole like deflection type thing too. I think one of the things you were going to talk about was, some of the pieces of this, but the reverse victim.
Victim. Yeah. The
Yeah.
Darvo, what they
It's,
do.
yeah. So you want to tell a little bit about what Darvo is?
And y'all, if you pay attention, you'll see people doing this in the public sphere right now. So it's deny, attack, and then reverse victim and offender. So, in an instance where, like, you come to them and you say, this situation, they'll deny it, they'll turn the attack on you, and then they become the victim.
Hmm?
And this, I started to pick this up. And then what the person who is being attacked, they try to justify, argue, defend, and explain. So the narcissist has the Darvo tactic, deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender. And then the person that's experiencing the narcissistic abuse is trying to justify, argue, defend, and explain. And like Doree said earlier, that kind of logic does not work in these relationships. So you're stuck in this spiral where it's like the Tasmanian devil's dust cloud.
Where's Roadrunner? Meet me.
I love you, Michelle.
Me.
So yeah, I mean, does that make sense? Like, have you guys, I mean, I could think of a very real example of this deny attack, reverse victim and offender that happened to me.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Tell us a little bit about that. I was going to say maybe we give some examples in our own personal lives of where
so
this happened.
this was, and you know, and I doubted myself for a minute, about the scenario. I had gone and volunteered and cooked dinner for an amazing, group home of people trying to get back on their feet. I'm going to keep this as general as I can. The partner that I had at the time, um, was on call. And when they were on call, they didn't leave the house. But that night, they decided to leave. So I knew this person was going to have their phone nearby and be able to answer it because they had to legally for their job. So on my way home, I was riding this high because there were so many magical things that happened at this dinner that were just so incredible and it felt in alignment. And I was like, this was an amazing, and I wanted to share it with this person because they were an important part of my life. So I called them and the phone kept going to voicemail. And I was like, what is happening? I was like, maybe they had a work emergency and they can't pick up the phone. So I get back to where I'm living and their car's not there. And I was pissed. And I was like, what happened? Like, did they have to go into the office? Like, no note, no communication, no text, nothing. And this was in the age of texting. And so I texted my friend. I was like, I got home, their car's not here. I'm pissed. And I inadvertently had texted them instead of my friend.
Oopsie.
So they come in hot, come back home, and I said, "Hey, why didn't you pick up the phone?" And it was like, because then, and they were like, "You texted me. What are you gonna chew my ass out or whatever?" And I was like, "Where were you?" And they were like, "Well, I went and got food." And I was like, "Okay, why didn't you pick up the phone?" Because I didn't want to talk to you. And then it turned into a fight about what it like disrespectful person I was and how terrible person I was. So I was like, hold the phone. Like you just sent me to voicemail continually, would not respond when I was like, are you okay? I get home, your car's not here. Like it was, I was like, what is happening? Like it was so disorienting to me to be like, how did this like there's nothing that you're going to be accountable for on this side of the equation. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Like, yeah, I was upset when I got home and there was no communication about where you were and you're not answering my phone calls. Like, what, it was just, how did this turn into a fight about what a bitch I am? Right? Like, where's your part in this? So that was my biggest like aha moment of this is unhealthy. And this is I mean, it was just like it's crazy making. You can't you can't you can't work with that. There's nothing to
Yeah.
work with there. Ooh, there's a nugget that I saw. It is contraindicated to try to go to therapy with someone who is emotionally abusing you.
Hmm.
I had never heard that. And I was in a relationship and I remember being in the therapist's office with this person and I stopped. It had been years, y'all. It was, and I just said, this is not working. And the therapist agreed with me. Have I told y'all this story?
Uh-uh.
The therapist agreed with me and offered to find someone else for us. And my partner was like, no, I'm not going to do this. It's you or nobody. And I was like, what is happening? And then a couple months later, our therapist decided to retire and we had to find somebody.
Oh
I
gosh.
don't know if that was part of the therapist's plan to get rid of us or not, but it was kind of nice. I was like, thank you for retiring. That's pretty sad when you're like, oh, you say, this isn't working. Your therapist agrees. Your partner's like, no. And then, yeah. Mm.
Michelle, what about you?
Yeah, gosh. So there was a person that I was dating a while back, and I mean, you know how it is on the dating scene. Let's call a spade a spade. You know, you kind of think that you're in a relationship or you're not relationship or you can see other people and all that kind of BS, right? So everyone knows. Um, and I thought we were exclusive and everything like that. But this person decided that I wasn't going to go and visit their place or stay with their place. And I'm just kind of like, why is it you are always coming to me? Why can I not come to you? And he's just like, well, my whole situation, and then he's just like, it's not great, and I'm just like, what is? I feel like there's that you're hiding something here, but again, because you're, nice, naive, and thinking, oh, everything's kind of nice. It's nice to just hang out, and he's coming to me, so I don't have to do anything, and I'm kind of like, what's going on? And he's like, nothing. And then it was just kind of like, then it was the flip of like, do you not trust me? The guilt of, we're seeing each other. And I'm kind of like, all right, you're starting to get really pissed off the fact that I'm just asking a question. And again, playing the victim of like, oh, you don't trust me, I hate it when women do, and it's just kind of like you're putting me in these categories of women of doing, so it must be the fact that you're doing this many times and you're saying you women. So what the hell's going on? But again, I'm all like loved up and thinking that I'm just aggravating him. Um and I should just stop, and I'm not gonna carry on because he's here and everything like that. So it was just the fact that he just didn't like having women over his hat place, and then he lived with his brother, and they had other women. I say other women. His brother's girlfriends had gone around and smashed things up, obviously, because things had happened, I don't know what had happened. So, slashing tires, smashing windows, and I'm just like, okay, cool. This is crazy. But then it was just kind of like, all right, now we're getting serious and we're gonna get married. Like, I feel that, we're starting to share everything. But it was still no, I'm just going to come to you and you're not going to know anything about my life. Like, you're not going to meet my parents, you're not going to do this, but I'm going to meet your parents and, I'm going to get immersed in everything that your side. And I'm just kind of like, what's going on? And then it was just the control factor of, you know, I don't like you doing this. I don't like you doing this. And then I'm questioning all the things that I'm doing. I'm like, is this what a relationship is supposed to be about? Like you controlling me and telling me the things that I can and can't do. And then I'm trying to justify it and then I'm lying as well to do the things that I want to do. And then we're arguing about it. And then I obviously told you guys about, having a car accident and everything like that. So it was just it was horrible. Horrible that I couldn't that the questioning was just being turned around like you don't trust me, look, and I'm just well like what's going on? And now we're having these conversations about all these things and I'm just like, wow, this is what this person was doing to me, controlling me, manipulating me, telling me what I could wear and what I couldn't wear and where I could go. And, I was trying to argue and defend and explain, and it wasn't good enough. Oof, yeah. Hardcore. Very hardcore.
Wow.
Very hardcore.
Wow. Hmm. I
And you
think a
don't,
lot of,
go ahead, Dory.
oh no, go ahead.
You don't realize how disorienting it is until you're in it.
No.
Because it's kind of like it sneaks up on you.
I don't think you realize it until you're almost out of it. And that is that you're in it and you don't even know. And everybody around you can see it and you can't see it. And then for me, what I've found in the past is also there's this alienation piece of everything too, this kind of pulling you away from, I mean, we're almost getting into abusive behavior here, but it sort of is, it is abusive. I mean, it's its own form of abuse. And so it's where they start alienating you because people around you are sane and they're seeing it and they're telling you, hey, this doesn't look good. And so, yeah, in the past, one thing I was going to say about myself is I've also noticed too, for me, is that also like other behaviors come into play that kind of work really nicely to together with this, and that's like cheating and all of these other things that happen as well, where then it comes back to you. Well, it's your fault. If you weren't doing X, Y, and Z, or you were doing this, then I wouldn't have. I've actually had somebody say that to me before. I would not have had to cheat on you. Oh my God. Seriously, you had to cheat on me? Really? You had to. And it was my fault. I apologize. It's ridiculous. But that's how it can become so twisted and turned where you don't even know until you're out of it. And then you go, like, I look at my previous relationships, and I'm going to say with an S because I've been involved with multiple narcissists and in abusive, in different types of abusive situations and things like that. But looking back now, I go, who was that person that was involved with these people? And I look at them now, and sorry guys, if you're listening to this, I wouldn't give you the time of day today. So, but I look at that now and go, but that was the person that I was that fell right into the trap, right? It was how I felt about myself. They have a way of love bombing you and making you feel special and all of these different things. And then before you know it, little pieces start changing and little behaviors start creeping in, and like little things where you're like, what? What did you just say? But then it was like, oh, but no, 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 no. I remember the love. I remember these things, and it becomes so crazy and just yeah.
So there was in one of my little note-taking escapades, there's three R's that Dr. Ramani, she wrote the book, It's Not You, and I'm in the middle of that. It's Healing from Narcissistic Abuse. So she was on another podcast and she was talking about the three R's of a narcissistic relationship, and I could identify with these. So one is rumination. So ruminating after, ruminating constantly, trying to make sense. They're trying to make sense of something that makes no sense. So that's where the confusion piece comes in. Then the regret that leads to bigger things like grief. So like, I can't believe I wasted so much time with this person, or I can't believe I don't have the relationship or the marriage that I wanted, or the relationship with my parents or my family or whatever. And then euphoric recall. So cherry picking the good things that happened. This was hard for me. Because there were, I've had relationships that were clearly not healthy, but then there were good pieces of it. And you're like, oh, but why couldn't it be like that all the time? And those relationships, in my opinion, are the hardest to walk away from because it's not all bad. But that's part of the manipulation, is to keep you hooked and give you just enough of the good stuff, like the love bombing. I tell you what, people that, as I've healed, the people that are attractive to me have changed significantly. Um, I'm much more choosy about who I will give my time to. And so if you're struggling with that, like as you grow and change, which is hard because it's uncomfortable, and it's growth is uncomfortable, and unpacking this stuff is uncomfortable. Understanding these things can be uncomfortable, but it's going to change who you are, but also who you're attracted to.
Mhm.
Yes.
I always say that who I am with is a direct reflection of how I feel about myself. And because I have been doing the work and putting things like really working on myself for 13 years, um, the people that I'm with, present company included, um, has changed. Like the people that even my friends are different as well. I now have friends who share the same like thirst for continuing to like explore other things. So I think that as you evolve, you can't, I guess what I'm trying to say is you can come out of these things, stop repeating the patterns. And I mean, there are tools and things that you can do to be able to start evolving out of this and start finding and don't give up. I can say that too. I have a friend in particular who was involved with a heavy duty narcissist and has been, trying to date and things like that and just is ready to give up on things. And I'm like, don't give up. You're constantly evolving. The people that be brought that will show up in your world are going to change. They're going to change with you as you're changing, if that makes sense. I feel like I just messed that up, but I have not had coffee this morning. So I'm going to use that as my excuse. And I'm going to pass it on. I'm going to pass the microphone on to you guys. I'm done.
That's funny. It's funny. I mean, it's so weird bringing up all these memories, and I don't mind bringing up these memories because it's kind of like a good reflection of how I've progressed as a person. But I would totally 100% agree with you because I was just attracting these people.
Mhm.
And I was just like, I have to flip this switch because I cannot and do not want to attract these people anymore in my life. I cannot. I don't need to be, I don't need to be, second guessing myself and thinking that there's something wrong with me when it's actually them and they're trying to control me. And I had to kind of put my foot down, and it was just so funny because I'm just trying to think what was the flick of the switch. I think it was I think after like a couple of dates that I would go on, I would be like I'd ask them certain questions. And however they asked those questions, I was like, yeah, no, I can't go any further because I know I'll go down that rabbit hole. And I see it, and I also see it with my friends too. And I'm just like, you need to stop attracting these assholes and think about other things that you may need in your life and start looking for those. Um, because the narcissist is just it's just a problem. It really is a big problem. And after that point, I started to attract people that were nice. Sounds
Yes.
horrible. Not that I'm always going for the assholes, but I had the nice people. And what was I watching? I think I was watching Loot the other day, yesterday, about the nice guys never get the girls. And I'm just kind of like, well, that I think as you get older, you want to look for the nice guys. Yes, you may want them to kind of like buck up a little bit and test you a little bit because you need some accountability. But the nice guys can be the people that you need in your life,
Yeah.
um, and not these narcissists.
And
And
it's about like learning to work on yourself. I think that's one of the biggest like tools and things like that is like when you're involved in narcissism and that sort of thing is start reflecting on what it is inside yourself that's attracting, like you said, Michelle, attracting certain people into your world. And what is it about you that you can build on to create this solid foundation where it becomes like a deal breaker. Like if you
yeah,
see it, you go,
uh-uh.
no, no, no. And strong enough to go, I'll walk away from you. I will walk away and I won't think twice about it.
Yes,
And because I love me more.
yes, 100%.
Yeah, I feel like the greatest thing that you can do is work on loving yourself because when you realize that you can provide a good amount of the love that you need, there still is loneliness that comes in, and that's really connection with people. And sometimes there's romantic connection, which you can't really get from a friend type situation.
Maybe.
I don't know. I guess that's a topic for another show, but um but when you realize that you can go to yourself for that validation, for that, and I feel like one of the things that I really didn't even realize is when I was in the midst of it, it was eroding my sense of intuition and my trust and belief in
Mm,
myself.
yes.
And there was so much value in that. But it was also, it was just like, you know, still things that were said to me when that relationship was on the outs are things that haunt me. And it makes me angry that they still take up space in my brain. But it was so manipulative to get me to stay, to get me to do what they wanted me to do. It's just like now I can see it. And one of the things that I've seen, we talk about the confusion and the good and the bad, but it's like being in a narcissistic relationship is like a slot machine. So it's addictive because you don't know when you're going to get a good nugget, right? And then you're being manipulated to just have this hope that like maybe today will be good, or maybe they'll remember to do something nice for me or whatever. And so I think I have a family member that has worked with domestic violence abusers, and it is so hard to leave a situation where you're being abused. And I think a lot of that ties into narcissism, the confusion, the slot machine. You never know when it's going to be good. You never know when it's not going to be good. And so there's always that little sense of hope where it's inspiring that people have that sense of hope, but sometimes it's delusional.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I was delusional, and I was just like, no, it's gonna get better, it's gonna get better, and then it was just getting worse. And as you guys already know, the fact that my mother passed during that time, and I was getting married to this person, and as I said, that was that. It sound horrible, but the passing of my mother was the key to me getting the counseling that I needed to understand what was happening in this relationship that was not good and that I needed to get out of it.
And and that's another good point too, Michelle, is that there's also, if you feel like you're in something like this, there are a lot of people that specialize in this area that can help you with getting the right counseling or coaches to help with these types of situations. You're not alone. I guess that's the thing I want people that are listening to the podcast today to understand is that you're not alone. You feel so alone and isolated, and maybe your friends have made you feel silly. And I say that in a way that they don't mean for it to be that way. They're coming to you out of concern and love, but it makes you embarrassed and ashamed and all of those different feelings that you're been in this situation. But there's so many people out there. If you can't go to a friend that can help you to start working on this and start helping to create that foundation. So there's hope. I just want to put that out there because it's so important to find a good support system when you're in this situation to be able to get the solid legs to be able to walk away. We're not saying it's easy and just ripping the band-aid off and walking away. Sometimes it takes creating like a good system and a process in place and a plan to get out.
Mhm.
And it takes patience sometimes, and sometimes it takes time, but it's doable, and the freedom that you find on the other side makes it so much worth it. I just screwed that up. That English was really bad. But anyway, it's,
Ah,
my grammar today is sucky. But it is absolutely just finding the life on the other side of this. And I can speak, and I know Desiree and Michelle and I can speak to this, is that the other side of this is so much better. There's so much like being able to be who I want to be without worrying about being shamed or abused or lied to or like manipulated or told that I've got it all wrong is so good than walking on eggshells being around someone that's going to make me feel like I am crazy. Um, it's a good life, y'all. It's a really good life and it's worth the work.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think I stopped questioning myself as well because it was, the constant questioning, well, is it me? Is it me? And now it's kind of like, no, 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 it's not. But then again, sometimes I will be like, if I'm, with my husband, I was like, yeah, Michelle, you're being a bitch. Stop it. Being a bitch. Stop it. But I'm not gonna have someone make me feel like I'm going crazy.
Yeah.
I will not have that. And I will not have someone manipulate me and tell me the things that I can and can't do. No,
Yeah.
not
Well,
happening.
and I want to, I sorry, y'all. I'm just like, I do want to point out if people listening to can listen to the way Michelle just said that as well. That comes from an area of strength, and it comes from an area of she says, I will not. No one ever will. It becomes, and that, y'all, it comes from doing the work and from really being able to stand in the foundation of who she is, to know what will and won't work in their lives. And again, it's possible. It's absolutely possible to get to that point where you stand on your own 2 feet and go, absolutely not, never again.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm preaching. It's Sunday, I'm preaching.
Doree's taking us to church.
I was just about to say.
One thing that I will say is that if you find yourself stuck in this decision of can I leave? A lot of things that I've seen with women coming out of relationships were at a financial disadvantage
Mm,
in many cases. And so do what you need to do to take care of getting income to where you can support yourself, and or seek out resources, professionals, organizations that help people in these situations, but also trust that the universe is going to catch you. And that is something that I've first heard in a documentary that's on Amazon, Shiny Happy People. It's about people's escape from religious patriarchy. But the author in that book, Tia Levings, I mentioned her on the last episode. She has a book, The Well-Trained Wife, which I just read, and she talks about the universe, how the universe caught her, and I could tell stories about how the universe caught me. And there are good people out there, and the world will show up for you to support you in showing up for yourself.
I
And
love
so
that.
how it's a leap of faith, and it's
mm,
scary. Um, but this world is a good world. I refuse to believe anything different. And
mm.
so I just want to instill that hope and motivation that yes, it can get better, just like what Doree and Michelle said. And you're going to find that strength to speak from a place of power of I will not tolerate this. And that is inherently coming from a place of self-love, because that is you showing up for you. And I never understood this until I started to like internally feel it. So it's worth it.
All right, are we ready for the uncomfortable question of the week?
We're
Let's do
in
it.
sync, Michelle. I was like, I was gonna pitch it to you. Yes.
Right, I think this is a good one. I think this is a good one. Would you rather work for a narcissist or be in a relationship with one?
Do we have to choose one?
I'm going to say I work for one because I don't have to sleep with them. Or be in the same space with them. Like I know that you spend most of your work life with people like that, but I feel like to me, my home is my sanctuary, and I choose to not have things like that in my sanctuary. So I can go out and put on my work clothes and be part of a work thing, and I go home and then just kind of like sage it all off, and then just get in a hot bubble bath and chill. So yeah, for me it'd be work, boss.
I certainly would not be in a relationship with one anymore. No. I know, I'm just, maybe it was an easy one. Maybe I'll do another one. Maybe I'll do another one after this.
Oh, we get two
Two,
bonus.
two. But I would rather work with a narcissist, and personally, I would not talk to that person. I would limit the amount of communication I would have with that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just want
I
to find out the information, and that's it. I do not need to engage with you. You just, if I have to work with you, I'm just working with you, and all I just want is the information. I do not need to have any pleasantries. No, just no. stay your ass away from me.
100% what you guys just better boundaries are easier in a work relationship because the emotions, it's easier to keep the emotions out of it. Although I do really love like connecting with people that I work with and getting to know them as people. That's not necessary to earn a paycheck. And I can get another job a hell of a lot easier. My emotions are not. Like, did you just do that? The snappy. I love this. I love that the sassy sisters are all on board with the same answer today. Are you
So
gonna
here,
pitch?
so let's do another question then.
All right.
So, which I think is another interesting question. Maybe better than the first one. Do you secretly admire narcissists for their confidence, even if you dislike their behavior?
Oh, I'm ready.
Do it. Goes.
No, because inherently narcissists do not have confidence. It's false. That's why they have to manipulate and control. It's all based, their foundation of their house is built on a cow patty. It's all bullshit.
I love it.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
What she said, I can't, um, hold on. I'm about to do an emoji for everybody on our YouTube
My
channel. You can see it.
sassiness showed up. Ah!
You're so funny. You are
Okay,
so.
Michelle.
I guess I've picked some really crappy questions today. Ha, ha, fun. I don't admire them. I don't admire them, but I feel like they're just brazen on how they can manipulate people. I'm like, how the fuck can you do that? Excuse my French. Like, what possesses you? And to me, I'm just like, you've got some freaking balls to do that to people. So it's
Yeah.
not that I admire them about that, but I'm just like, wow, you openly can just do this shit to people. So
Hmm.
it's not the fact that I admire them. It's just the fact that I just feel like they have the balls and the nous to just do it and think that it's okay.
But you know what? That goes back to the thing they don't have it though. They just live in a their own like reality that's their own
Yeah,
twisted reality where it
true.
just
But that part just gets me. It's just like you're just like this. You can be manipulative and it's just okay. It's just okay. Like you just don't have a problem with it. So again, I don't admire it, but I just think they've got balls to do it. But they
So
don't, technically, if you maybe I'm not making any sense.
they live on the Rue de Lulu. So Rue is a street in French, and Delulu means delusional. So they
Yeah.
live in the street of delusion, the
So
Rue of Delulu.
yeah. So that's my thought. That's my thought. Maybe it didn't make sense, but it's okay.
All right. Who's got quotes? Who's got quotes?
I'll do one really quick. It's my favorite. When someone shows you who they are, believe it. Maya Angelou. That's that's it. I mean,
Mic drop.
people, yeah, people show you and just believe it.
Um, I like narcissists don't care who they hurt as long as they get what they want, and that's unknown, but I mean it's to the T. They really don't care. They don't give a shit.
All right.
Desert.
I have two. One is
Okay.
from a meme. It's not really a quote. It's like
Me.
a modern day quote, which is narcissists are cry bullies. A cry bully is someone who plays the victim in a situation they created. Maybe that's mean, but I think it's hilarious. A cry bully. Um, Boundaries are the kryptonite of narcissists. And now I will plug our boundaries episode. If you haven't listened to our boundaries episode, you should go back and listen to it. I believe it's
Love that.
season one.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see. Season 1, episode 7.
Yeah.
There you go.
We have some
Yes.
book recommendations in there for y'all. We talk about boundaries, kindergarten, all the things. Okay, Doree, talk to us about what? Drum roll, please. What is the next episode about?
So we're going to talk about different types of narcissists. So believe it or not all narcissists are created equally. And there are different types. And you may start noticing some relatives in some of these different buckets that we're talking about. So we're going to move on probably into some different areas of identifying people, but not naming them specifically because that would be wrong. Next episode.
Awesome. Michelle, it looked like you had something to say. What did we forget?
When you said family members, I was like, oh God, yes. One comes to mind.
Oh, Lord. All right. So we are going to see you guys in 2 more weeks. And yeah, when we're talking about the different types of narcissists. So you're going to get a whole education on this. It's something that we have experience with clearly, and we love sharing.
What's episode 10? Oh my gosh.
I know.
That's cray.
Y'all, there's so much goodness in our past episodes. If you're just discovering us now, go back and listen. We have a lot of fun doing this. We love sharing. This is our passion. We are all so passionate about personal development, and we love that you're here. Yes. And we will see y'all in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Life Coaches Unfiltered. If you love this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, or follow us on social media. Got a question you've been afraid to ask? Send it our way at lifecoachesunfiltered@gmail.com. Until next time, keep growing, keep questioning, and stay unfiltered.